This is 7 National News, and in our top story, the UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, on Saturday received the President of Finland, Sauli Niinistö, and his accompanying delegation at Zabil Palace. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed and President Niinistö reviewed the current situation in the region and ways of promoting the foundations of regional peace and stability. They also discussed forging an investment partnership between the UAE and Finland in IT and other technologies. President Niinistö hailed the UAE's advanced tourism sector and attractions, citing advanced infrastructure, easy communication and transport, attractive beaches, authentic Arab hospitality and stability. Expressing his interest in building new connections with the UAE, he stressed the importance of Emirates Airlines' operation of 2 daily flights between Dubai and Helsinki for expanding avenues of cooperation and tourism. The Expo 2020 Dubai Higher Committee shared the latest information on the status of the Expo 2020 Dubai preparations with the Executive Committee of the Bureau International des Expositions BIE, the intergovernmental organization in charge of overseeing the organization of world and international expos in Paris last week. This was the first update for 2015 to the committee and part of a series of meetings required for the official registration for the first World Expo in the Middle East, Africa and Southern Asia region. His Excellency Matar Attayar, Chairman of the Board and Executive Director of Roads and Transport Authority, shared details of the Expo 2020 Dubai registration document, which will be submitted to the BIE during the summer of 2015. He also presented an overview of Expo 2020 Dubai's presence in the UAE pavilion during the Expo 2015 Milan, which will take place from May to October this year, as well as discussed Expo's ongoing national engagement activities with the committee. Cementing their position as a centre for international legal excellence and increasing accessibility for the public will be high in the agenda for DIFC Courts in 2015. As 2014 is identified as a milestone year with value of cases filed reached 1.76 billion dirhams. At a press conference, Mark Beer, the Chief Executive and Registrar of the DIFC Courts, revealed their annual report for the year 2014, which highlighted the progress and achievements throughout the year. Among the main highlights of the year was the total value of claims and counterclaims filed with the courts increasing by 81%. To cross 1 billion dirhams for the first time in their history. Mark Beer further revealed that the size and complexity of the cases continued to rise, with an average claim amount in the court of first instance increasing by 25% to reach 42 million dirhams in 2014 from 33.5 million dirhams per case in 2013. Meanwhile, the report also highlighted an increase in caseloads by 29% in the court of first instance and a 69% increase in small claims tribunal, with 126 cases in 2014, which officials believe has played a role in driving the SME sector. Furthermore, the ability to deliver and enforce judgments remained central focus in the year 2014, with written judgments delivered within 2.5 months on average. Commenting on the report, Mark Beer stressed that increased accessibility for the public will be in focus for the year ahead, particularly with the upcoming launch of wills and probate service later this month.
Business needs to know that if it gets a judgment and it wins, that it can convert that to cash. And to do that, the courts have to be working in a connected way around the world, globally, just as business is working. Well, we've got to constantly keep innovating, constantly keep delivering. We were the first court in the UAE to have a woman as a judge. We were the first court in the Middle East to have a pro bono scheme to give access to justice for people who didn't have money. The first court in the Middle East for a small claims tribunal to help the SME sector, part of the Dubai strategy. And now we are looking at the establishment, and we hope to launch it later this month, when we'll talk more, of a wills and probate registry, so that those who wish to leave their Dubai-based assets and to look after their children who are living with them here in Dubai can do so in our English language common law environment.
16 surveillance cameras aimed at detecting vehicles jumping red lights will be introduced at 5 intersections in Zayed City in the western region as of today. The new system complements those on Abu Dhabi Island to detect traffic breaches such as jumping red lights and speeding. According to a local report, Brigadier Engineer Hussein Al-Harthi, head of the Traffic and Patrols Directorate at the Abu Dhabi Police, stated that other common breaches include misusing lanes and vehicles stopping on pedestrian crossings. The Sharjah Department of Statistics and Community Development is recruiting temporary staff to work as part of the Sharjah Census 2015 team, with work beginning in October. The department will appoint 800 researchers, supervisors and collaborators for either 30 or 80-day periods. Candidates must have completed secondary education and have a school leaving certificate, as well as being competent with smart devices. Researchers must be aged 22 and over, and supervisors 25 or over. Interviews will take place May 5 to 20 for vacancies in 3 locations in Sharjah's cities, Al Daid and Khurfakan. To apply online, candidates can visit the DSCD website. And owners of wild animals have welcomed a decision to set up specialized farms in Sharjah where they can house their pets in the emirate legally. According to a local report, earlier this week it was announced that owners of exotic wild animals could keep them at special preserves available for rent through the Environment and Natural Reserves Authority. The creation of the farms follows an emirate-wide ruling banning ownership of dangerous animals. The farms will be behind Al-Sajah in an uninhabited area away from any industrial or commercial activities. They will be monitored by the Environment and Natural Reserves Authority and will be operated under strict conditions. The authority has not set a date for the completion of the farms, but said it would start allocating space for owners with a large number of predatory animals. And finally, in the bulletin, Season 5 of Fashion Forward is showcasing 4 days of couture and ready-to-wear designers from across the region. Known as a Middle East definitive fashion platform, this season the biannual roster of collections include 25 labels, 6 industry-focused talks and panel discussions, and over 40 regional accessories designers. The event prides itself on being a fashion movement that highlights diversity in catwalk collections whilst inspiring and nurturing industry growth. Since its inception in April 2013, Fashion Forward has established itself as a major player in the region's growing fashion industry, magnifying both Dubai and the Middle East credibility as a fashion hub. Fashion Forward Season 5 welcomes 25 apparel designers from countries including Lebanon, Morocco, Egypt and the UAE, as well as the Philippines and India. These designers all have their businesses based in the region or are of Middle Eastern origin and include Ezra, Fern One, the Emperor and the UAE's celebrated Zarina.
It was a thought that I was thinking all the time about it, that how can I blend the chaos and the war with the peace and love. Right. So when I started the collection, every time I wanted to do something, it was just pushing me back. And when I saw the war, what was happening in the entire war, I decided to have only talk about peace. Because of that, if you notice, first time in my life, I did only white colors mostly. So I wanted just to show the people that we can live in peace, in white, in everything in a nice way, you know.
In addition to the runway shows and presentations, highlights of Season 5 include a diverse roster of talks and panel discussions, forming the D3 Fashion Talks. The topics include the evolution of fashion, the influence of the Middle East on Western fashion, the impact of visual merchandising, and the relationship between fashion and film. Furthering the strategic partnership with D3, this season sees the final day of Fashion Forward being held on-site at Dubai Design District, bringing the designers together with industry leaders, buyers and the media.
It's a very exciting time, really, in Dubai and the entire region as well. When Sheikh Mohammed actually, created a mandate to put fashion in the forefront and to really raise Dubai as a fashion capital for the region. I mean, obviously the whole industry followed suit. And with initiatives like Dubai Design District and the recently formed Dubai Design and Fashion Council. And of course, we'd like to think with Fashion Forward, we've been around for the last 2.5 years. And just all these initiatives are just coming together, and there's this collective will and effort just to really raise our profile. And I really think there's a lot of great talent here, and I'm sure a lot of brands will evolve out of our platform.